Hello again. Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Celestial Journey. So I'm picking back up actually pretty much right after last episode because I got to thinking. It took me like 5 minutes. I actually exited out and I was about to start rendering that video, and then I was like, you know what? Why don't we just make this one our permanent setup? Because I plan on having like a mob duplicator system that's just permanent, so I've always got it. I've got to kill that slime or turn it down. I'm dead. I got like a lag spike for just a split second, long enough for that cave crawler to just beat me to death. Okay, well anyways, I decided why don't we just make this one our permanent system, right? Because I plan on having one anyways. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and pull this off. Let's put this back down and we're going to say mob duplicator. This is just going to be our general mob duplicator. I don't plan on having more than probably one of these setups, but what I'm going to use this for is soul generation, basically. If I need to generate souls for a mob type, we're going to do it through this system because it's easy to switch these out, whereas our other systems are going to be a little bit more, permanent. So what we're going to do to that end, we're going to go ahead and grab our capacitor bank, and I can just replace this block now. And you can see I did run this a little bit more. We've got a few more ender pearls. We've got over a stack of weak blood shards. I will say that we are coming up with a net loss, very, very small net loss on XP still. Even with the bound blade being, having that XP boost through, we're still getting a small net loss. But what we're going to do, I did bring some more vibrant alloy down here, and I haven't went mining yet, so I may have to cut at some point this episode to go get some resources. But we need to check the quest book too. I haven't really been checking it too often because we're so off kilter with the quest because we haven't done the tech side of things that I haven't really been checking it. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up this block here. I'd really like to have it though. They're not that expensive, but I don't really want to have to remake them. Let me slip over to the side here. I don't have any torches on me. I'm going to have to bring some torches over. That's fine. What we're going to do, open up this just a little bit. This is the block. Yeah. Where the attractor obelisk is. What I'm going to do, let me just go ahead and say that you can input on the green channel, and then we'll bring that down like that. And then I want to run over some power conduits, so we'll just bring these back along, and they're going to also plug into the mob duplicator. And then that's pretty much everything that's going to require power over here. And then they're going to come to right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our capacitor bank sitting there, so we can kind of see the top of it, right? And it's going to be pulling out power, probably sending it to that, yeah. Though, I tell you what, no, let me adjust one thing here. That's pitstone tiles. Okay, let me actually remove that mud brick real quick. And we're going to run this like that, and then down and around. It's gonna, it's a little bit more conduits, but I want to, long term, I'm going to have a red string comparator right here, and I don't need those conduits in the way of that. And then I'll just remove that. And I'll put that back, and then I have to put a mud brick in there. So we're going to have this little capacitor bank. But eventually, my plan is, when we start sending mana down through here, we're going to have mana spreader that fires into a flux field that sits right behind this capacitor bank. So eventually when all this is running, there's going to be like mana bursts shooting down into each cell. You know, as it runs, as it needs power, then a spreader is going to start firing into that flux field. So whenever we come down here, we can pretty much see at a glance probably what all systems are running. And we can get, you know, an idea. I'm not sure, though, if I'm going to have a power... I don't know if a capacitor can read from a capacitor bank. I mean, a comparator. I'm actually not sure about that. I'm going to have to check that real quick. Okay, we're going to test this real quick. So that's... Yes, it can read it. Okay. We're still going to be using the power monitor over here because we cycle power instead of all on, all off, and, you know, we let the power build up a little bit over where the shutoff point is. But, yeah, I think for those smaller systems, we're just going to have a comparator that reads it. That way there's not the very small, minute power draw that comes from the power monitor. It's not a lot, but there is a very small draw. Okay, so that's good news. That is very good news. Yeah, so long term, we're going to have a red string comparator. We're going to start working towards that here soon because I need them for quite a few things, to be honest. Now, let me get a facade for the mud bricks real quick. By the way, in this pack, there's no like crafting table on a stick or otherwise, is there? No, I don't see one. Once we, really though, yeah, we're going to make something here in a second. We started Botania. There's no reason I don't have one thing in particular that makes life a whole lot easier. Alright, let's take a look at the assembly halo. Oh. It's doable. Well, no, it's not doable because it takes Terra Steel. Okay. Never mind right now. We'll get to that later. I was actually thinking, like, man, it'd be really cool to make a couple of those. And since we don't have Corporea right now, we don't have an auto-crafter. But what we could do is make a couple of those assembly halos and automate runes until we get to Corporea. But since we could pretty much get into Corporea by the time we can make that, I don't think that we will. Oh, and let me grab this also, and I'm going to shift that up. Okay. Yeah, that's better. That's better looking. Okay, so that's plugged up. Let me go ahead and pop down here. I want to light this up before I have mobs spawn down here. And I think... Yeah, there's our vacuum hopper. I want to go ahead and open this up because we're going to clean this up also. If this is going to be our permanent system, I don't want that chest and that experience obelisk sitting here. And what we're going to do for that, to that end... well, actually, we'll... Oh, yeah, I have a really... I just realized something. We can start into... Oh, man, this is going to be a fun episode, actually. This is going to be an amazing episode. We can start in one of my favorite things ever created, this episode. You can tell I'm excited. Some of you guys that have been around on the channel might know, maybe know what I'm thinking about. But before we do that, let's go ahead. I should go ahead and craft some fluid conduits. Yeah, I've got 3 and 2. Okay, that's not great. Let me get a few more of these crafted up. No, this will be good. This will be good. I only need like 2 and 2 to be honest for the system that I have in mind. I don't want to use a lot of conduits. What we're going to start into today. One thing I'm going to need is our wheel stuff. You might know where this is headed. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into blood magic nodes. Like my plan in this series is Corporea, blood magic nodes, Thaumcraft for the majority of our stuff, right? And nodes are just, they're so good. They're so good. So for the system that I want to do, I'm going to need 3 master routing nodes to get us started. Now realistically, it's probably better if I go ahead and craft these. Let's see, I've got 1,000. That's a 200 drain. I'm going to have to... let's see. I could spend like 1,075 without having to farm wheel. I mean 175. It's going to be close. I think I'm going to have to farm a little bit of wheel if I do it this way. But I'm going to end up draining most all of my wheel out which is fine. Let me go ahead and get this stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. I didn't even think about we could start into these right now. For some reason, I think about them being gated or something. I don't know. This is great news, because that means I'm not going to have to do anything not fun for our prison. Like we get to get right into what I want for it, and set up some really fun systems today. And then I'm also going to need a node router, and I need to get let's see, imbued slate there and reinforced slate there. I'm going to need 3 imbued slates and 1 reinforced. But there's our 6 routing nodes, and then I'm going to need basically 6 more redstone and glowstone, and then 3 gold, 3 iron. These are so cheap. And if you've never experienced or done nodes, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're going to be in for a very pleasant surprise, I think, this episode. A lot of people don't realize how powerful nodes actually are. If you've never messed with them, like, it's one of those things that's, you know, maybe just exists in blood magic, but you don't really think about it. I remember when they were first getting added in, and I was like, huh? Like, item transfer in blood magic. How's this going to work out? And then, like, as it kind of came, at first it was really buggy, but it's progressively gotten better and better. Another exciting thing is, before long, we're actually going to be setting up our first auto blood system. Because I'm at a point now where I'm starting to feel like I really need it, because, especially having nodes, of course. I just died. I ran out of life. Whoops. Death number 2 this episode. Okay, there's our 3 input routing nodes. Whoops. Go ahead and snag those. You gotta be careful with this dagger. When you're used to using like the default blood magic dagger, it's a little bit tricky because this one will keep draining your life after you've stopped stabbing yourself. Okay, there's our input and output routing nodes. I've still got 844 wheel in here. What's it take to make, only takes 5 for that. Okay. So, that'll be our node router, and then it's these 3 things to get our master nodes. Now, there is one other thing that we're going to have to craft here in a little bit, but for now, this should be good for us. These are the expensive things to craft. But I want 3, basically you need, if you've never used nodes before, you need, for each system, like transfer system, you're going to need a master routing node. Just one, and it can be as many nodes on that one as you want. But you do have to have one of those. Then you're going to use input nodes to input things into the system. It's not like conduits where you say input items into a chest and it pumps items from the conduit system into the chest. It doesn't work that way. It's the opposite. You're going to input items into the node network. And then output, of course, you output items from the network. There's also routing nodes, but like I mentioned, normally you're probably not ever going to need them. I tend to build massive bases, and I never use them. So unless your base is maybe like miles away, you're probably never going to need to use them because the range on nodes is massive, and they all link together. So, if you have an input or output somewhere in those miles of conduits, or those miles of space between one node and the other, then you're fine, as long as they're all connected up. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to grab, let's see, maybe I don't want to use that chest. Maybe I want to use a crap chest. Better yet, I don't think these aren't going to look bad. So here's what we're going to do. I need to move this. Oops. Thought I turned you off. Let me turn this off for just a minute. Let's say redstone on. And let me just go ahead and move this chest. I know it's going to spew stuff all over the place. And I'm just going to set this up for right now. I'm just going to put it right here for a moment. Okay, so there's that. And what we're going to do, we're going to put a node. I don't have the mud brick on me that goes up there. I'll go get it. We're going to put an input node here and an input node here. And we're not going to pump the items from this vacuum hopper through it at all. Our nodes are going to access this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a master node. I'm actually going to have separate systems. Instead of having everything on the same item system in this series, I think I'm going to have separate systems that are dedicated to certain things. And so we're going to say that this is going to be, no, I'm sorry, not an input node. We're going to put one of our master nodes right up here, and this is going to be basically the prison system node and for items. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shift right click the master node, and we're going to come over here and we're just going to right click that. And you can see there's a line there that's connecting this input node into that master node. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have all of our items from different networks sent to, say, like a sorting, like a certain area that takes then all the items from the different systems and then takes them and sends them to where they need to go. You know, so we're going to have subsystems just for like pickup and delivery to kind of a hub for sorting, I think is what we're going to do in this series. In the past, I've used nodes. Like, you can literally make one node system, like on SevTech. Pretty much my entire base, the item transfer and stuff, was powered off of one item line system. But what we're going to do for now, because I don't have that system in place, we're going to put a diamond chest setting. Actually, this obsidian chest here would work because I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. So I'm going to put an output node setting here, and we're going to shift right click on that, or right click or whatever onto that. I'm betting it's not connecting to the vacuum system, so I may have to pump those items out in that case. Because, for example, I put this chest here and I take like an ender pearl. Yeah, it's sending it. It's just not. It's not accessing the vacuum hopper. Though I wonder if the vacuum hopper can connect into the node, and then it basically opens up an access port for that node to work from. So everything's been drained out of here. Like, it's that simple, right? It blows. It absolutely, in my opinion, it blows away conduits because you're able to run things long distance. Because I always build my bases massive, and I end up, if I have to use conduits, it's like, okay, I got to use ender chests. So much fun. But with this, I literally need 3 items and I'm moving items, or I need 3 blocks and I'm moving items long distances. And not to mention there's some filters for it with like really high, basically some logic filters, so it can do a lot through those filters. So, okay, so that's plugged up. I mean, that's all there is to it. And then eventually, once we do the sorting system, the main sorting system, we'll pump the items over there. Right now, we're just going to send them up to the to that chest there, and basically all the items from our mob system come up there, and that's pretty much from there we can sort them by hand for now. Now, to make a frame part, awesome. These are cheap too. Okay, I am going to have to go farm up some wheel real quick. Though, I could spawn the mobs in here, or I could probably just kill some of the multitude of things that tend to spawn down in this area. That would work also. Strangely, I've only got a couple right now, but... Okay, so there's our 2 frame parts. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that back into there. And we're going to get ourselves 2 fluid filters. Now, I'm going to need... wait a second. I'm going to need Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just get a few more buckets. I know it's more than what I need, but not by much, and I don't mind making extra. Okay, so there's our 4 fluid filters. And what I'm going to do... Let's see. Alright, and what we're going to do, this wheel, I promise you it'll get moved before it's all said and done, just because I'm going to set it like that for now. But it's going to get moved once the library comes together. But we're going to be working on getting some stuff together for the library this episode, actually. So what we're going to do, we're going to set an output node there, an input node here. And we're going to go ahead and just bind that to that, that to that. And then I don't think that we have to configure this, but we'll find out. So the output is going to be connected up. You can grab the output node, or you can grab the master, or any other node in a system. They don't all have to connect to the master. Just there has to be a master in the system. You know, the master could be connected to one thing, and you have 1,000 nodes on the channel. That's fine. You know, it's not a problem. So we're just going to connect that right there, and then we're going to do an output node, and let's pull all this up. This can finally go. We're going to put it right here. And I'm going to put a fluid conduit here. And we're going to say that you can extract always active. And we're going to put an output node. I don't want that to connect. Put an output node here. And we'll go ahead and just grab that. We'll be back because I've got to set filters. And we're going to connect that to our input node. So if you take a look, well, it's not showing it, but it's connected. I think it's a distance thing. And then what we're going to do is, I don't think I can just like bucket. I can, okay, cool. We're going to put on this, and we have, the side is very important on the filters because each of these can connect to basically 6 different things. You know, 6 different sides here. We're going to be dealing, on this one, we're going to be dealing with the west side. So we're going to say west side, fluid filter, liquid XP. And you can set here, this is priority. So if you want to set priority, the lower the priority, the higher in the chain it is, right? So 0 is a higher priority than 1. And then this right here is a mount. So if you've ever played with like translocators or something where you can set an exact amount to keep in an inventory or an exact amount to leave in an inventory, you can set that with this right here. So what we're going to do, that's set on the west side, and then over here we're going to set this one on the east side. Fluid filter, liquid XP bucket. And I will play around with these a little bit in a test world to see if there's any changes to the fluid filters, if we can have more things on our network, you know, than we could before. But regardless, I am going to have that as a middleman between systems. So these will be separate systems regardless. Then what we're going to do is there any XP at all in this at the moment? There's not. I am going to set this as the XP side so it can connect into that node. And we're going to put, this is going to be on the west side. So we're going to say west side, fluid filter, liquid XP that you can move. And then if we were to spawn, actually there's no, yeah, there's no fluid essence. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. And then over here, we're going to say this is going to be on the south side. So on the south side, you're going to have a fluid filter and that. And technically, you can move items and fluids through a system. Sometimes it acts buggy. I like to have them separate because of that. But technically, you could. Alright. Yeah, you can see this has got fluid XP, right? Because it just filled up from the... there we go. It filled up from our experience obelisk. So we're going to set this as liquid XP, and we're going to set this as essence, and go. And that's going to start pumping essence into here. Oh, man. And let's see. Let's go ahead and dump that in there. And you can see it moves 1,000 millibuckets at a time. I mean, that is one thing. It's not the fastest in the world, but does it actually need to be fast? No. I mean, I've ran entire bases all the way to in-game on nodes. They're plenty fast. I know some people get really, really serious about just everything being full speed, but like I've mentioned before, it doesn't have to be full speed all the time. So that's plugged up. Essence is here. Essence is here. Energy is here, which all runs off this capacitor bank, but it's easier to power up one capacitor bank than it is to have to run power to two. And then all of our item transfer is in place. All of our fluid transfer is in place. We can set this back to always on. Oh, man. Now, the only thing I'd really like to have in here is proper lighting, for starters, because it looks horrible in here. Oh, output on green. I must have changed that or something and, yeah, messed it up. Yeah, because I moved the conduit over and I just derped. Was all it was. Okay, so then... Oh, but this isn't on, so... We'll get back to always on. There we go. Awesome. And now, if we were to pop up here... but if we come up here... We should say, yeah, see, XP is getting drained out of this, and it's going to be trading off. Yeah, not really getting a whole lot of XP at the moment. I don't know. Okay, it seems like it's not connecting to this from that side. That's okay. What we're going to have to do is, let me try something real quick. Okay, what we're going to do, let's grab our red alloy, and we are going to make ourselves a tank real quick. So there's our fluid tank. And before I go, let me get... been trying to get these just to kind of help to offset. It won't be... our XP loss is not going to be an issue for too long. We just don't have very many of our systems in place. So... once we get a few more, then I won't have to be feeding an XP to make up for the loss. But oh, and just to let you guys know, in case any of you are fans of it, Nintendo, there was a Nintendo Direct the other day, and we are getting, on the Switch, we're getting Catherine full body. So if you're a big Catherine fan like myself, I had that game pre-ordered for months before the original came out. I still got my shirt and my boxers and all that. But that game is coming out for the Switch, so fun stuff. But let's go ahead and throw in our fluid tank and our carved mud brick edge. Can that not go in here? The one time I want to paint this to hide it. And Ender.io, you let me down. I'm guessing, I don't use it too often because I usually don't like to hide my machines and things. But in this case, I'd like to have that hidden. But what I may have to do is just run a conduit, do a conduit facade. Do a conduit facade and just run it up via conduit then, so it's hidden. I don't want a tank sitting there. Because the little system that we've got in place right now looks like kind of magic-y. And so I don't want a tank sitting there. So we'll just go ahead. There we go. Alright, so what we'll do then is I'll just break that off. And we'll put our tank up here. and conduit there. We'll say that conduits won't connect to it either. Okay, I'm gonna have a tank. Then it looks like, oh man, give it back. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna have to do is just I'll put that there, and then I'll put that right there. And it's going to start dumping all the XP into it. And there we go. And actually, if I set this to pull, will it pull from that? I don't know, because it's empty now. That may speed it up too, but we'll find out. And then if we take our input node and put it here, and that's going to be on the south side. And so we'll just add that to there and link. There we go. Drains the tank out, and we'll have sent it up to our XP system. And let me make sure this area is, yeah, it's chunk loaded. Okay, great. And so that's done. I got to fix the lighting. I got to do the ceiling, and I want to decide on a way to. I don't know if the Ender IO block like we used in Divine Journey is still a thing or not. But if so, that's like the ideal solution, I think. Okay, I think I've got an idea for what I want to do. I'm actually going to pull up this. That's our conduit line. And then I'm going to come up. Might be best to just facade this stuff. So I'm going to need 2, 1, and 1 on facades. That's fine. Let me go ahead and run some redstone conduit here. And actually, I don't have to have one here now that I think about it. I can do that. There we go. And we're going to say that you input on like the blue channel. Okay. You're going to input redstone signal from that channel. And then we're going to run this redstone conduit over like that. And then we're also going to run an item conduit line from here over. And we're going to go ahead and set on top of this, we're just going to put a little mini chest that sits like right there, let's say. And we're going to say that you extract with signal. And you can insert. And these are going to be on the purple channel. And self-feed disabled. Yeah, that should be good. And signal color blue on output, strong signal on the green channel. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run item conduit here. And I don't want it to connect there and there. And we're going to say that you can extract and insert. It's going to be on the purple channel as well. Oh, and the extract, we're going to say active with signal on this also. And we're going to set the signal color to blue. And let me set right here, let me set the signal color to blue. Okay, it works. It's just not getting a long enough signal to always work. But I think with what I have in mind, I think it will work better. Let me try something. Can I put anything else? Anything else in this? No, I'm going to have to make another mob imprisonment tool to test it, really. Yeah. I am going to get 3 facades. I need 2 of these and then 1 between stone. I'm going to dump off my inventory as well, and then we need to go do something. Okay, we're going to pop into the nether. I'd rather do this in Twilight Forest, but I don't want to go through the progression right now. I always lag because these, like, I don't know what these are. But whatever they are, they like to give me just a little bit of lag. Okay, so anyways, what we're going to do... Actually, I want that guy right there. Oh. I'm going to grab that wither skeleton also. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go back in for that guy. Yeah. There we go. Ah! He will come in handy later. So that's one of the guys I wanted to go ahead and catch today. I'm going to probably end up needing to make more soul vials before the end of the episode. But oh, and you're mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Ugh. That wasn't my fault. Okay, well, he's gone. So that's good. Okay, so what we need to do... Oh, there's one of those too. I actually need one of those. We get to go... We get to go catch ourselves some Pokemon, basically. We gotta catch them all. Okay, so what I'm actually here for, though, is Ghast. I would like a Ghast. I hear one. I swear, this is like the only pack that still properly has Ghast spawning. Most packs, like you go to the nether and there's just no Ghasts to be had. Oh, there's blazes, but I'm gonna wait on them till I can find one that's in a better spot. Hey, like these. I think I captured him. Yeah, I got a blaze, wither skeleton, a wildfire, and a scorcher. We are doing well right now. Because this is actually going to be the hardest dimension for the mobs that I need. Truth be told. Hey. I'll take that. I want to get witches going before too long, though, so I've got glowstone. Because I use it so much for building, and we need it for, like, energetic alloy and stuff. See a lot of draconium in here, but I don't want to stop to mine it. Wow! Wither skeleton army. There it is. I think I just got it. Okay, let's get out of this place. Because I caught my whole, like, menagerie of creatures. Blaze, wither, wildfire, scorcher, and ghast. Now, I still want to get blizzes, and I want to get Eden Carthathian things. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and pop over to Eden. I want to get Carthathans, or whatever they're called. And I'll explain why I want them so bad here in a second. But and I also want to go to Iceka. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it's that. Because... Oh, God. Wow. Okay, I got a bliss. Oh my gosh. It's just like a war zone in here right now. Okay. Whew. Tell you what, man, these dimensions are giving me a workout today. And then one more thing I want to add to our initial menagerie. I'd like to get witches and stuff too, but eventually I'd like to get all the things. But oh, I see that bow guy. I want to get one of these guys. And the reason for these guys is twofold, actually. We need Eden fragments, of course, but there's one other reason that I want them. There's one thing. Divine RPG has some of the nastiest archers in, like, all of modded, I think. Alright, let's get back. And let's pop down here. And I've got some plastic made, because I knew we were going to be needing it. But we are going to be actually automating only 12 sheets for right now, so we'll be kind of selective, but we are going to be automating that here pretty soon. Okay, so what I want to do... Actually, first, I'm going to go check the mob spawning size real quick for gas. Okay, yeah, we're good. It's just a 5x4x5 that we need for them. So let me grab this for just a minute, and let me just switch over that Enderman for a moment. Soulvile City right here. And what I want to do, let me get... do I want to summon it in here? Or... Actually, I don't think they can break like most blocks, but I'm going to summon it here just to be on the safe side. Let me get... There we go. Okay. The trade-off... Okay. The trade-off has been made, though. Alright, so what we're going to do now... let's put this in there. Oh, what? That's what the explosions are. These guys, and they're spawning everywhere whenever they want to. Alright. I didn't get a gas here. No, okay. Well, what I meant to do was get it with this and not kill it, so... I don't think that TNT blows up blocks, though. Oh, no, because this is claimed. That's right. Make sure your stuff's claimed. And then their TNT won't be able to destroy it. But what we're going to do is we're going to add ghasts to this. And now, if we turn this on... Wait a second. Did I turn that off? That destroys their drops too. No, it's always on. It's just, oh, well. I don't know if it was stuck on that, maybe. Or they may just be too big for this to work well. I don't know. Okay. It's not working as well as I intended it to. I mean, I'm still getting to kill them. Okay. Yeah, these guys are just a big mess is what they are. What I'll probably have to do for them is move the mechanical user and make them a more compacted area or something, because it's just, maybe. We'll see. But anyways, I got 3 gas tiers. That's fine. And, okay, this one got some too, but I've only got enough plastic sheets right now to make these anyways, so. So it is picking them up. It's just, you know, they drop TNT and they blow up their gunpowder, it seems like. But okay, so there's a few more imprisonment tools. And what we're going to do, I think I'm good on ender pearls for right now. I can hold off for a minute on that until I get more plastic made, probably. But what I want to do, I want to go ahead and get Eden Cadillions for starters. And then what I want to do is, if we put this into the chest and we hit that button, oh, but you know what? Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to switch this out. Oh, and I just thought of something with the lever, though. Let's change this to active without signal, I think. That way it's not going to try to like just bounce it back and forth. Just thought of that. That's really not going to work like that. There we go. So it pulls the gas out, and then if I release the lever, it sends it back over. So I can kind of just use it as like a toggle system. I mean, technically we could do like a screen with buttons, but I think that's a little bit too techy. And truth be told, I mean, I'm only going to run this for souls and stuff. I just don't think we should do that. I don't know. But if we put that in there and we send it over now, and that's an easy way we can check and see what's in there and all that. I think it'll be kind of fun to use. And if we hit this, get ourselves a Cadillion spawn, and let's go ahead and drop that into there. Now, it won't work though if they see me, so. So we'll put our iron bars back on. Then if we activate it, there we go. That one stopped there for a minute, but it seems like it's kicking away at them. This is one where having the extended, you know what though? We could set it up to read how many entities are in there and run as long as there's one entity. That would work too. Let me see. Yeah, we got empowered meat. That's why I wanted auto smelt, is because now we basically have an auto food system. So I can let that run those Cadillions for a little bit. We're going to get the Eden Souls, which we're going to need these anyways. Lots of them. Eden Fragments to get Eden Gems, to get Eden Chunks, to make Oh, it's like that in here. It's Eden fragments with a fire base. Um, I believe that's different than Divine RPG. I could have swore, at least whenever we went through Divine RPG, it was like Eden gems, like 9 of them to make an Eden block or whatever. But that is a-okay. So now we don't have to eat clams anymore. We can eat empowered meat. That's 5 shanks of hunger and 40 times saturation, which is pretty insane. I don't know. I may end up having to set up some fans at some point to move some of these mobs because they don't like moving. This also doubles as an excellent wheel farm, by the way. You kind of have to find the sweet spot to stand, but... Okay, I want to pop you guys in real quick because I've been popping around the nether, and you can see I've gotten a bunch of stuff. I was actually in here mainly looking for draconium. I started off digging in the mine area, but I wasn't having much luck, so then I decided to go ahead and just bounce around in the nether, and I've been getting a lot of draconium. And you can see I did get a soul vial with a wisp. Now it's possible this wisp might be half on fire. It hit lava as it was coming through, but I did capture it. I got it to follow me into like a little cubby area, and it was a pretty easy capture at that point. So I've got to pop back over to home real quick, and can I get this one? I think so. Okay. Seems like he despawned. But we're going to get ourselves something this episode. Probably a couple. Huh? Okay. Probably a couple somethings, I think. And I have a couple things to go over with you guys before we end out the episode, because I know that it's just about wrapping up point. Probably need to make an eating charm before too long. We've got really good food, but it takes me a minute to eat it, so... Okay, we are back. And I almost got 2 more stacks, too, just on the way back. That is awesome. Okay, so what I need to do... I have to get a couple things done up real quick. I've got to... Let's see. There's 7... I'm going to have to cook up... I'm going to have to cook up 9 stacks of draconium, but I've still got almost 3 stacks left. And it's not something that we have to worry too much about not having. In all honesty, because it's going to be a little while before we really start using this. And this one furnace took all 9 stacks without any issue whatsoever. It's just like, okay, I'll take all that. I'll smelt it up for you. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, a couple things I want to go over with you guys real quick. And there's one other thing I'm going to need to get, and that is I need to get 3 Z logic controllers, but those are pretty easy to make. It won't take but a second. Oh. It's been a little while since the last cut, because I've been trying to figure out a good way to detect mobs in this pack. And honestly, like, there's the entity detectors. I remember we used those back on Divine Journey, but they're going to require that we get the Thaumcraft. There's also the mob thing from Industrial Foregoing, the mob detector, which isn't too bad. It's very within our price range, but it requires power. And I'm not sure, but I think it actually requires more power than just running our obelisk all the time. So there was a cave crawler, but I think he despawned. And I can't think of any other way to detect hostile entities. I can think of like Eye of the Ancients, which we could use for passives. And I do have some plans for that. That's where all the cave crawlers are. If we keep having an issue with them spawning, we're going to do something about that. But I set this little thing up just as a temporary fix to sort our gas problem. But long term, we'll probably use carbonite gas, so it may not be an issue long term. But for right now, like if I click this, gas spawns, and I can push him with that fan. So it's just a temporary fix because eventually we're going to have souls and, well, actually we'll have Botania Caminite gas spawner for gas tiers. So that's not going to be too bad, but we can run gas tiers easily with this system. And they don't drop TNT. I think they only do it when they're hostile to something, which they're not hostile to this. So that works out. But I do have a really cool plan in mind, I think, for our gas system that we're going to put into effect. So really the only issues right now, we still have to build the door. We're going to do that. I have to see if there's a new update for little tiles. Because, of course, I'm using the beta version, and I can't really use the recipes in the current version, but it may be fixed now. But really, I think the only... Oh, and one thing I want to show you. I got this to connect. So if we grab this, you can see that I did finally get it to connect. I was setting it up, I think, the same way as I was before, but it is now connecting up to a tank, so I moved that so it's out of the way, and so this is our entire visible setup in our little prison. So, but I think really that's, I mean, the gas problem is only a temporary thing, and this fan won't be forever. So I didn't bother doing anything too fancy with it. It's just, if I want to turn it on, it's there. And we can also use this for Cadillions also. Though once we set up a permanent Cadillion system, we may change it up slightly. So, but yeah, I think the only thing that we're having issues with on occasion is the detector. I may have to wait for Draconic Evolution. I just can't think of another detector that doesn't require a bunch of power to run. Because as it stands right now, that would be kind of counterproductive if I try to save power by having it shut off by using more power, I think, than what it takes to run it, you know. That actually was not a bad farm at all. Draconium, you get so much of it when you find a node. It's a little bit scary popping around the nether sometimes, but it's not too bad, I don't suppose. Alright, so I just need 60 Draconium blocks. And then I gotta get the Z-Logic controllers. Whew, I'm getting low on zombie heads. I got one. That's fine. That's not a problem. Because we'll be fixing that up soon enough. Oh wow, and this has stopped running. About 47 million. I will take it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our 2 booking quills. And let's see, if we do that, it's 27 levels. Go ahead and put up the extra so we don't waste. So there's 4+3. And then if we do that, it's 33 levels. There's our Reaper 5 enchant. Haha. And then if we want to put these two together, it's 6 levels. So, or 10 levels that way. We're going to do it this way. Alright. And I think this is pretty much all the enchants I'm going to want on this sword. Bound Blade is just too good. Any kind of unbreakable sword that's enchantable is just too good. Okay, so it's going to be 24 levels to do this, but that's fine. Go down to 30 levels now. I'll have to build it back up, but So we're going to have looting 3, sharpness 5, XP boost 3, fire aspect 2, reaper 5, vorpal 3, and in addition, it gets blood shards. And I'm also going to have to make a mending book for our soul sword here soon. It's still got a decent amount of durability, but I don't want to take a chance on it breaking. Because it does have our Reaper 5 enchant, which I like to stick on like everything if it's available. Let's go ahead and put that back on, and we can start spawning our ghast friends. Oh. There we go. And I guess that's what I want to run right now. I don't know. I guess I could run Eden Cotillions, but I do need to build up some ghast tiers so that we've got those available. So that should be fine for the time being. Let's pop up here. Reaper 5, it will take a minute probably before we get any souls from it. But this system is going to be our soul system. So if we want to generate souls, build up souls, this is the system that we'll be using. So, yeah, I see ghast tier steadily going up. But after that runs for a bit, we should have a ghast soul in here. And then I can just swap over to another mob. I want to get at least one soul from each mob that we plan on spawning. Though, honestly, ghast souls, I don't know why I'm worrying about these. I'm probably not going to use their soul, because I'm probably going to use a Caminite ghast. Because, like I said, I want to use vanilla spawners where possible, so I can use the Britannia system. But, of course, without something like Apotheosis, we can't use it for everything. But that's okay. So, yeah. That is now taken care of. Our spawning system is pretty solid at this point. Like I said, the only real issue is I'd like to have some sort of an entity detector. If you guys can think of one that's available to us at the moment, that would be great. But I just can't. I'm drawing a blank on something that's not going to eat a lot of power that we have access to at the moment. That would cover the size of this room, you know. But yeah, so anyways, I think I'm going to end out this episode here. Like I said, next episode, it was originally going to be this episode, but next episode is going to be kind of one of our laid-back sort of hangout videos. Not really anything progression happening, just kind of, we're going to do some building, and I've got a little bit of Between Lands content that I'd like to do in that episode as well. So we'll get into that in the next episode. And then, depending on how things go, we may quickly, in one of the upcoming episodes, quickly set up a system to stop the cave crawler crab issue and the possible upcoming grow enthralled Dramcrix, underground cyclops, all that, rototix. Deal with those in a very efficient manner, I think. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then. Okay, I just want to pop you guys in real quick. Just a really quick update, because it hasn't been running for too long. But we already have an Eden Cotillion soul, a ghast soul, Wither Skeleton soul, and Enderman soul. And I will say with Vorpal, it gets a lot of heads very quickly. Very quickly. Plus it does that extra damage. But right now I've got it just running Eden Cotillions to build up more food. But yeah, so just wanted to update you guys. We have souls coming in mass now, pretty easily. So, but anyways, I'll see you guys next time.